10 facts about the Zika virus. Number 10. What is Zika? Zika is a life-threatening mosquito-borne virus. Since May 2015, the Zika virus has spread through the Americas at an alarming rate. Although Zika infections are short and only 20% of those infected develop mild symptoms, the virus poses a significant threat to pregnant women. Current data suggests that 1 in 50 babies born in the Brazilian state of Pernambuco have been born with birth defects due to the virus. The current outbreak is thought to have spread so rapidly due to the abundance of the virus-carrying mosquito Aedes aegypti and the poor public sanitation of many of the affected countries. Number 9. History of the virus. The Zika virus is named after the Zika forest in Uganda, where the first case was discovered in a monkey. The first human case was detected in 1954 in Nigeria, and since then, there have been small outbreaks in Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands. The virus can currently be found in 21 countries throughout the Caribbean and North and South America. Number 8. Zika and pregnancy. Central American country El Salvador has told women in their country that they shouldn't get pregnant for the next 2 years in order to avoid the birth defects associated with the virus. El Salvador is just one of a handful of countries throughout the Americas that have called for women to delay pregnancy. However, women's rights groups have criticized the move. They have pointed out that because of rape and a lack of contraception, 56% of pregnancies in Latin America and the Caribbean are unplanned. Furthermore, the Zika outbreak is occurring in countries with some of the strictest abortion laws in the world. Number 7. Aedes aegypti. The Zika virus is predominantly spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is found in tropical and subtropical regions throughout the world. This species is well adapted to living in urban areas and extremely successful at spreading disease. As the female mosquitoes feed exclusively on human blood, once infected, they pass on the virus to the next people they bite. The mosquito is most known for infecting hundreds of millions of people with viral diseases, dengue, and yellow fever. Number 6. Eradication of mosquitoes. The Aedes aegypti mosquito is notoriously difficult to eradicate due to its diverse breeding sites and ability to resist pesticides. Another potential solution is genetic engineering. British firm Oxitec have modified male mosquitoes so that they contain a self-destructive gene. This causes them to die before they reach adulthood, which can reduce the population by 80%. However, there is no evidence to prove that even a significant population drop of the mosquito would end the outbreak. Furthermore, the cost of manufacturing and releasing the mosquitoes would be unsustainable. Number 5. Bigger than Ebola. The World Health Organization has claimed that the Zika outbreak could be a bigger threat than the Ebola epidemic. This is because 80% of those infected with Zika show no symptoms, which makes tracking the disease extremely difficult. There is currently no cure for the virus, and finding a vaccine could take up to 10 years. This is because finding a vaccine would mean conducting medical trials on pregnant women, which biologist Mike Turner has described as a practical and ethical nightmare. Number 4. Zika and microcephaly. The Zika virus has been declared a global public health emergency by the World Health Organization due to the serious threat it poses. Pregnant women infected with the virus run the risk of passing it on to their unborn baby. The virus is thought to infect the fetus's brain, preventing it from fully developing. This deformity is known as microcephaly. The disease causes severe brain damage and even death, as the brain can be so underdeveloped that it cannot regulate bodily functions. Number 3. Guillain-Barré syndrome. The Zika virus has the potential to cause the life-threatening condition Guillain-Barré. Guillain-Barré can affect anyone. The syndrome causes the immune system to attack the body, causing paralysis and even death. It begins with numbness in the hands and feet, before muscle weakness occurs. And if it spreads to the chest, the syndrome can affect breathing, leaving patients on life support. So far, hundreds of cases of Guillain-Barré have been linked with the Zika outbreak, symptoms of which can last for years. Number 2. Sexually transmitted virus. In 2016, a woman in Texas was infected with Zika after having sexual contact with a man who'd caught the virus in Venezuela. UN Foundation member Alaka Basu describes the viral potential of Zika as being parallel with the HIV/AIDS case, elaborating that it's worse in some ways because there are two modes of transmission. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention advise people to avoid for 6 months the semen of any man that has been exposed to the virus. Number 1. The future of the virus. It is predicted that the virus will spread over the Western Hemisphere this year and is likely to spread to Asia and Africa, where the Aedes aegypti mosquito thrives. Scientists also suspect that Aedes aegypti's cousin, the Aedes albopictus, could also bring Zika to Europe. The fact that Zika can be transmitted sexually means that it has the potential to spread to any country. With so little known about the virus and its potential to deform fetuses, the outbreak threatens to have a significant impact on a whole generation.
If you've heard about the Zika virus, then you may know how dangerous it can be. But we are going to look at 10 facts that you may not know about the Zika mosquito virus. Number 10. Transmission. Unlike Ebola, the Zika is an RNA virus that is related to the West Nile, yellow fever and dengue fever viruses. These types of viruses can currently only be transmitted by mosquito, so you won't be catching the Zika virus from any other people just yet. Number 9. Zika virus symptoms. The Zika virus has very few symptoms if you become infected, with 80% of those already infected showing no symptoms of the virus being present, with those showing any symptoms at all having a small fever or rash. There have been reports of a few rare cases causing muscle and joint pain, headache, pain behind the eyes and conjunctivitis. However, these are thought to be rare. Number 8. Unborn babies. The Zika virus poses a serious threat to unborn children, with pregnant women who are infected often falling ill and giving birth to children suffering from microcephaly, which can cause brain damage and delays in speech, movement and growth. Unborns are currently by far the most at threat from the virus. Number 7. No vaccine. There is currently no vaccine for the Zika virus, however plans are being drawn up to develop some type of cure based on the rubella vaccine. It's currently unclear how far scientists are to making a cure for the virus. Number 6. Origins. The Zika virus started in Africa and was originally named ZIKV after being discovered in 1947 in the Zika forest in Uganda. It was discovered that it can infect both mosquitoes and mice before it spread to Asia and Polynesia in 2007 and then Latin America in 2014. Number 5. On the move. Puerto Rico has reported cases of the virus and it is now thought to have integrated itself into their mosquito population. This puts much of the Gulf Coast now at risk and the virus is expected to head north during the summer months. Number 4. Travel cases. The first travel-associated case of Zika was reported in 2007, and from then till 2014 a total of 14 cases were reported within the United States. In the last year, 8 cases have been reported to the CDC, however this figure is expected to increase with other cases still being tested. Number 3. Mosquito travellers. It has been made clear by the CDC that they don't think mosquitoes will be brought to foreign countries with travellers and state that only a fraction of the bugs in epidemic areas actually carry the virus. Number 2. Prevention. There are ways to try and prevent infection from the virus with insect repellents containing at least 20% DEET and other well-known repellents including oil of lemon eucalyptus or IR3535. And remember that mosquitoes are most active between the hours of dawn and dusk. Number 1. Preventing Zika long term. There have been ways suggested on how to control or even eradicate the virus, but by far the best way would be to control mosquito breeding. We already know that they breed in places like water-filled habitats and that they can be killed by certain pesticides. However, these have been known to damage the environment and be harmful to human